Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am making loaded taco fries. So I'm going to start off with half a 16-ounce bag of organic frozen French fries. Just going to put them on a baking sheet, spread them out evenly, and put those in the oven while I prepare the rest of the toppings. And I'm going to bake these in the oven for about 15 minutes, and I'm going to check on them halfway through so I can turn them to make sure that they bake evenly. While those fries are inside of the oven, I'm going to get the ground meat ready. This is actually enough for 2 servings. I'm just going to go ahead and make them together because it's easier, and then I'll save the leftover taco meat, and I put that in air quotes because I'm actually using impossible meat. So I have 2 patties, and I'm just going to add in about a tablespoon and a half of taco seasoning. Sometimes I make my own taco seasoning, sometimes I buy it already made. Today, wasn't really in the mood to make my own, so I just went ahead and got one of my favorite pre-made taco seasonings. Just gotta open it up here. Some people like to season their meat while it's in the skillet. I actually like to ground up my meat inside of a small bowl just to ensure that the seasoning is spread really well. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. So less than a tablespoon and a half, about 1 tablespoon and a teaspoon. The seasoning that I use does not have any salt in it, so I'm gonna add some salt on my own. Just check your ingredients, see if yours is already made with salt. If it is, you don't have to add it, but if yours is like mine, you're gonna need to add some in yourself. I recommend about 1/4 of a teaspoon should be good enough. Now I'm going to combine all of that while my skillet is preheating over here on medium-low heat. And just go ahead and make sure all of the meat is nice and crumbled. If you want to, you can of course use ground turkey, you can use ground beef if that's your thing. If you follow me, you know I tend to stay away from meat. It's never really been one of my favorite things to eat. Unless I'm traveling internationally, then I will dabble in some chicken. That looks good. I'm actually gonna add a little more seasoning. There we go, that should be good. Okay, perfect. Let's head on over to the stove. Okay, heat is on under the skillet. Like I said, medium-low heat. I'll add a tablespoon of avocado oil. Rock and roll that around just to make sure the bottom of the skillet is well coated. There we go. And let's add in this meat. You know you've got the perfect heat when you hear just that slight sizzle. And then of course you're gonna need to spread it out so it starts to cook evenly. Go ahead and start removing your meat from the skillet as soon as it's nice and brown. I'm gonna transfer mine back into the bowl that I used earlier. Don't worry, I cleaned it. That way I can use this skillet for the grilled onions. Okay, using the same skillet, I've added about a teaspoon of additional avocado oil just to make sure that the onion doesn't stick. And I went ahead and sliced half of a yellow onion. I love onions, so I don't mind using a lot of onions. Remember, I'm also making enough for 2 servings. So it's really not as much as you think. We're also about to grill it, so it's going to shrink in size and the flavor is actually not going to be as sharp. If your onions start picking up A little bit of that brown meat as well as the seasoning. Don't freak out. Remember, that's exactly what we wanted to do. We're just adding some extra flavor to the already delicious and slightly sweet grilled yellow onions. So let it pick up. It's fine. And right about now, your house should be filled with this delicious grilled onion aroma. I worked at In-N-Out when I was in college, so this smell is all too familiar with me, but I love it. You can see that the onions are slightly translucent now, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the heat. The skillet is very hot, so they're gonna keep cooking anyway. And I'm just gonna grab a small dish to transfer them to. My fries are ready, my timer just went off. So after I take these out, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the fries from the oven and toss those in a little bit of seasoning before we assemble our loaded taco fries. The next thing we need to do for these loaded taco fries is to go ahead and make the cheese sauce. My cheese sauce is absolutely phenomenal and 100% dairy free. I make it using a base of cashews. So I'm gonna start off with 2 cups of raw cashews, unroasted, unsalted. You can use roasted and salted though if that's all that you have. Half a cup of nutritional yeast. This is what's going to give it that yellow color as well as that delicious cheesy flavor. I'm gonna add 1 heaping teaspoon of garlic, granulated garlic, but you can use garlic powder. And then I'm gonna add 1 heaping teaspoon of onion powder. I would not use granulated for this one. Definitely go with the onion powder. I'm gonna add in 2 4-ounce cans of diced green chilies. If you're afraid about spiciness, don't worry. Diced green chilies really aren't that hot. They actually have more of like a pickled flavor to them. Go ahead and add those in. I have a few friends who are not fans of anything spicy. I mean, like a dash, I'm talking like 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper and their mouth is on fire. But they are able to eat my cashew cheese without a problem at all. So trust me when I say it's not going to be too spicy and you will be okay. Please do not skimp on the diced chilies. It will change the entire flavor profile of the cashew cheese. Now, this next part is optional, though highly recommended. I add in 1 Chipotle chili in addition to about a teaspoon of the adobo sauce. It's gonna give it a brilliant color, and I mean, you really can't beat the smoky flavor of a Chipotle. Next, we need some salt. Depending on the salt that you have, yes, not all salt is made the same. You're gonna add in anywhere from 2 to 3 teaspoons of salt. I'm using 2 this time because I know this salt has a great profile. And the next thing we need, which is actually the last ingredient, is just 2 cups of spring water. You're gonna let this cheese sauce blend on high for about 3 to 5 minutes. I transferred the fries to a pretty shallow bowl just because I want to add a few seasonings to it before we assemble the fries. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, coarse fresh black pepper. I source my black pepper from Zanzibar, so it's pretty flavorful. I don't need too much. And then some smoked paprika. I sourced this smoked paprika from Spain, and it is so freaking good. I mean, you can like literally taste the oak. You can go ahead and gently combine that. You can use your hand if you're, just making it for yourself. Hopefully you kept your hands clean throughout this whole process. If not, go ahead and just use a fork. Now, time to plate the loaded taco fries. We're just gonna take the fries straight from the bowl onto the plate. If you got a few extra seasonings in there, you can go ahead and drop them in there. This bowl is a little bigger than I needed, but no worries. There we go. Cheese sauce is ready. I'm gonna add that first. Here we go. This cheese sauce, you guys, so good. Freezer friendly too, super important, right? You can keep it in the freezer for up to a month and it'll last in an airtight, container in the refrigerator for about a week and a half. So about 10 days. That is so good. We're gonna add some of our ground meat on top. And of course, you store your extra ground meat as well. So the next time you make one of these, all you'll need to do is make another batch of fries, but everything else will already be ready for you to go. There we go. Maybe just a smidge more since I did make enough for 2. There we go. Grilled onions going on next. And I pulled mine a little early, so these will still have a nice tender crunch to them. I like onions for their crunchiness. I don't like them too soft. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of salsa verde. Was gonna make it myself, but the store was completely out of tomatillos. I'll go ahead and add a generous portion on top. This one's a little thicker because it's actually an avocado salsa. I'll put that there. And then I'm gonna add a dollop of, you guys will probably use sour cream. I actually use an organic vegan Greek yogurt. The choice is yours. I typically go with Kite Hill plain unsweetened almond milk yogurt. To me, it has a similar taste and texture of sour cream. So I don't mind substituting, but again, if you want the sour cream, go for it. Now here's what really brings joy to my life. I discovered this crunchy chili onion oil from Trader Joe's, and I have literally been adding it to pretty much everything. And then last, but certainly not least, a little bit of freshly diced chives. Not green onions, chives. And that's it, you guys. Loaded taco fries. Mine happen to be 100% vegan. Like I said, you can use ground turkey, ground beef if you wanted to. If you want to use sour cream, go for it. If you wanted to use a dairy-laden cheese sauce, go for it. Though I do encourage you guys, give the cashew cheese a try. It's really, really, really good. Trust me, you're gonna thank me after you try it. I hope you guys enjoy these loaded taco fries as much as I do. Like I said, they are perfect for any type of event that you're hosting, or if you're like me, home alone, just hungry, go ahead and grab yourself a bowl. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave it down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Enjoy.